Hi everyone, Jen Roque here at stampcampwithjen.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to create two masculine cards using the well-dressed designer series paper and the A Good Man stamp set, the stamp set here. So before we get started, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up on my YouTube channel and make sure to comment below in the description. I also have supplies listed in the description below that you can click on to shop in my online store. And make sure that if you haven't yet, that you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. You can also head over to my blog, stampcampwithjen.com, to see all of the details for today's project there as well. All right, so to get started, I'm going to show you how to make this. This is called a crisscross pocket card. This is a vertical card. I've seen a lot of horizontal ones lately, and I created this one for my Stamp Camp classes after having a discussion with one of my Stamp Camp ladies. She was saying how difficult it is to come across masculine cards, and I thought, you know what, I really should create a card. And this is what I came up with. I thought it was really fun. It was Father's Day approaching, and with some of these last chance products, I really wanted to create something that was quick and easy and lots of fun for the recipient. So this pocket card, you pull out the insert, and you can actually put a gift card or a little bit of money in the center and write your sentiment at the bottom as well. And with this card, you actually have a couple of scraps left over, and that's where I made the bonus card here. So we actually are taking scraps that we cut away from this piece and making a completely separate card to have an additional masculine card for any occasion. This sentiment, that it's your day, which is also from the A Good Man stamp set, is perfect for birthdays, graduation, any special occasion really, just to let somebody know, good job, congratulations, whatever you want to do. Okay, so let's work on the pocket card first, and then we'll get into the bonus card. I'll show you how to create both of them today. So I'm using the well-dressed designer series paper. Now, at the time of filming, unfortunately, this paper is no longer available. So if you were lucky enough to snag some before it went out of stock, that's great, use that. If you didn't, I think the Elegantly Said, with the golds and the dark, I think it's like black and silver and foil, and there's some white in there. It's just really pretty. I think that would be a really good one for a masculine card as well, or just use any masculine paper that you have on hand. So we are going to cut this down to a 6-inch panel. Okay. And then I'm going to move, make sure you can see it. I'm going to move this over to the 1/2 inch mark and use the light gray scoring blade, and we're going to score it at 1/2 inch right there, okay? And then we're going to rotate it clockwise and score, oops, I got some extra stuff there. We're going to score it at 4 inches. And I'm going to open my arm on my machine here, and we're going to score it over to 8 inches. Really very simple. Okay? So 4 inches and 8 inches on the horizontal. All right, so, and then what we're going to do is you're going to figure out which side you want to be facing inside and which side so I have it so this is the outside and this is the inside. So with your inside facing up, your inside panel, we're going to fold up our 1/2 inch score mark and burnish or crease with our bone folder. And then we're going to score on these other score lines and burnish or crease with your bone folder, okay? All right, so now looking at it, you have these little panels down at the bottom. We're actually going to cut these two, the left and the right ones, away. So I'm going to get my paper snips. And on the center, we're actually going to angle it a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to cut it at an angle and then cut on my score line. Okay. This would be really great to make a bunch of. My friend that I was talking to, she said once she finds a masculine card, she just makes a bunch of them because it's always hard to find a good one, and then, you know, you never have them when you need them. So she just makes a batch of them to have on hand, and I think that's a great idea. So we don't need these anymore. We can throw these away. Now we're going to do a little bit more cutting, and these are the scrap pieces that we're going to use for our next card. So looking at our panel with this little flap towards the bottom, we are going to, on our right panel, we're going to put our the score line at the top in our track here, in our cutting track. And then make sure you can see that there. Yep, the top where the score line is, and then the bottom where the point is, and we're going to cut. Okay, so there's one scrap piece. And now on this side, we're going to do the same thing. Score line at the top and the corner at the bottom in the track. Make sure you can see that. And then we're going to cut again. Always makes people nervous when they cut because they don't want to cut the wrong thing, and I completely understand. All right, so now when we look at this, it's kind of like an arrow, right? With our little stubby part at the bottom and then our angles on the sides here. So these scrap pieces we're going to save for our bonus card, okay? So we're going to put these off to the side. Now for this piece, we're going to take some tear and tape and put it right here in the middle, and of course I forgot to grab my tear and tape, so I'm going to use seal for this demonstration, but tear and tape is better if you have tear and tape, but seal will work. I just like the strength of tear and tape. Okay, so then we're going to take, I like to take my left panel and fold it over. And then I'm going to take another strip at the very bottom. Oops. The very bottom here. And then we're going to take our right panel and fold it over, lining it up with the bottom. And that's how we made our pocket. Isn't that so cute? It's so easy, right? All right. So now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So if we look at our example here, we've got a little sentiment at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. And all of the measurements are on my blog, okay? So you can get all, I'm not going to go through all those in the video, but you can definitely see them. I have all the measurements in my blog at stampcampwithjen.com if you want to recreate this video. So we're going to use the sentiment. You do a great job of being a great guy. And I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy. There we go. Night of Navy right here. And just stamp it towards the top in the center. Even pressure straight up and down. And then on a scrap piece of paper, I am going to stamp being a good dad starts with being a good man. And I just have a little scrap piece of paper here that I'm stamping on. And just remember, anytime you stamp, just go straight up and down, even pressure. You don't need to rock it back and forth. And there we go. And now we will take our white piece here and we will adhere it to our Night of Navy. Okay, and this is our little pocket insert that we're making. There we go. So this just fits right on the inside right there. Oh, love it. Okay, now this strip we are just going to adhere. I put it about where this little tip of the triangle meets in the center here, and luckily with this paper it has lines so you can line it up really easily. So I'm just going to line it up right against this little line on the paper. Now be careful when you're using adhesive on here. You don't want to put a bunch of adhesive and have it go over this opening and accidentally stick to the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to put adhesive on the sides of the card here just to make sure that that isn't a problem. You could also adjust it and make it go a little bit lower. I like to kind of cover that a little bit though. So we're just going to put that right in the center here. And now we're going to take, so the twine from the dress twine combo pack, that is still available as of right now, when I checked before filming. So I'm just going to take this Night of Navy twine and I'm going to wrap it around a couple times here. Probably twice. I'm going to wrap it around. And then I'm just going to snip a little bit off here to tie my bow. So you could use any coordinating color. The twine combo pack, it comes with Night of Navy and basic gray. So either one will work. You could use white twine if you have it. That coordinates pretty well with this too. So now tying my bow, since our sentiment for the card is going to be in the center, we want that bow to be off to the side. So I'm going to tie that off to the left-hand side here. And this card is really almost done. This came together very quickly, very easily. I love it. Okay, so here's our bow. And now I know bows, they're kind of girly. You may not want to put it on a masculine card, so feel free to leave it off. I just like the extra little embellishment that it provides, so that's why I decided to put it on my card. All right, so we have our dimensionals, and what I like to do is I like to put my dimensionals one on top and one below where the twine is going to be, and this will kind of keep the twine in place, keep it from moving where it shouldn't be. And then actually we need to die cut our piece first. Sorry about that. So we're using this piece. This is from the Tasteful Labels dies, and we're just going to die cut it right over the sentiment here. Let me get my Big Shot. So I still use my Big Shot because I like the magnetic plate that it has. So I can actually make sure that my dies don't move around. Stampin' Up! Did have a magnetic plate, and they're still working on getting all the kinks out, but unfortunately they still haven't been able to release a die cutting plate or a magnetic plate that works. So in the meantime, I still use this one because I like the magnetic plate to make sure that my dies aren't going to move where I don't want them to move. So, alrighty. Ooh, sorry about that. All right, so there's this. And then we're just going to take that sentiment where those foam dots are, and we're going to stick it right here in the middle. And that's our pocket card. Isn't that cute? Very quick, very easy. Great for Father's Day or an anniversary. Let your husband know that you appreciate him and everything he does for your family. You could give it to your son or your nephew that's, you know, doing a great job as a dad, or just somebody that you appreciate. All right, so now we're going to take those scraps and we're going to make this bonus card, okay? That's really like an any occasion card. So with it, I have a Night of Navy card base, and we have a Cajun Craze layer and this basic white layer. So this basic white layer, what we're going to do with that is we're going to take these strips. I like to have them opposite each other just for some extra fun, I guess. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this angle and we're gonna line it up with the corners of our basic white piece just to make sure that it's centered when we adhere it. And then we'll do the same thing, lining this up. You're not gonna see the basic white piece at all. It's just a template to kind of help you make sure that everything's centered on the paper, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my seal and go right around the edges and make sure to put a couple strips in the middle too. Make sure everything sticks, okay? So now taking, oh my gosh, it's super sticky. There we go. So now we're taking this paper, and all we want to do is just make sure to line that edge with the corner of the basic white. And we'll do the same with this piece. Just not exposing any of the white. And now we're gonna flip it over and we're just gonna trim all that excess. So I'm gonna get my paper trimmer back out just to make it easier. And I'm gonna line it up on my track and just trim. And if it's a little bit over, it's not a huge deal. Like I have a little bit excess, I could go in and try to trim it a little closer, but it's really not a big deal. Just as long as it's close, it'll be fine. We'll trim all that off. So like I said, the white is just a little template for you, basically, to kind of help you line everything up. Okay. So like you can see, there's a little bit extra on the side here and maybe on here, but that's okay. We just want the basic shape like we have it right now, and our corners line up perfectly, which is great. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay. So now we're going to take this piece and we're going to layer it on top of our Cajun Craze layer, and then layer that on top of our card. So these are really quick and easy cards. You can make a bunch of these at a time. If you have a pack of paper and you think, I really need to do something with this paper, but I don't know what to do, make a bunch of them and have them on hand like my friend does, so that you have, you know, masculine cards ready to go. Because I know I always struggle coming up with masculine cards. So if you can have a bunch in your pocket ready to go, it's always a nice thing. Okay, and then, oops, I didn't even burnish this with my bone folder. There we go. Tight crease. And then we're just gonna put that right on the front here. Okay. Now I'm gonna cut out a large black star and 2 small Night of Navy stars. And the set we're using for that is this, these stitched stars. This is a really good set. If you don't have it, I highly recommend it. This will be great at Christmas time too. So I was really looking forward. I just got this set myself and I love it. I can't wait to use it more. And 4th of July is coming up. If you do any 4th of July projects, this is a good one to have too. So we're using, the big star is, if you look at the 2 groupings, it's the smaller of the grouping. It's the largest star is what I'm using for the black one. And then the smaller star is of the bigger cluster of the stars. I'm using the smallest one out of that bigger cluster, okay? So we will get our Big Shot back out. All right, so now we're gonna do our star here. See if I can squeeze that on here. This might not quite be big enough. Oh, perfect. That's my black star. You could heat emboss first, but it would be a little difficult to do that and then try to line up the star if you have kind of a smaller piece of paper. So that's why I'm die cutting first and then heat embossing, but definitely do whatever you're more comfortable with. Let's do a small Night of Navy here. There's one, and I'm gonna die cut one more. Do you guys have any Father's Day plans? We're having a big cookout. One of my daughters just moved down recently with my other daughter, so they're both only like an hour away from us. We're really excited about it. We're gonna have them over, and my daughter's boyfriend, and my mom's coming over, and my in-laws are coming over. We're having a lot of family over and having a big cookout, which will be a lot of fun. We're really excited about it. So, all right, so now we're gonna do, we have our 2 Night of Navy and our black star. So now we're gonna do our embossing, and we're using the It's Your Day, which is also from that A Good Man stamp set, okay? So if you have an anti-static bag, use that. That'll help you keep the static off of your paper, keep any embossing powder from sticking to places you don't want it to. If you don't have one, you can get it at your local craft store. Unfortunately, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell it anymore. So, all right, so we're gonna use the Versamark, and again, straight up and down, even pressure. I think I did that a little too low, but that's okay. I'm gonna put my lid on so I don't accidentally put my powder in my Versamark. I just tap the back to get that excess powder off. That's pretty good. So now we just need to set it with our heat tool. And with the heat tool, to tell that it's almost ready, you'll notice it brightens up and becomes kind of glossy, and that's how you can tell when it's almost set. It's getting hot. See, you can see that right side getting brighter. Let's see if I can show you there. So that right side is getting brighter and the bottom still looks kind of grainy. That part is still heating up. My fingers are starting to hurt. It's too hot. There we go. But that's how you can tell if it's ready, is if it's bright and has a gloss to it and it's smooth, then you know that it's set. If it looks kind of grainy and dull, then you need a little bit more heat on it. So, okay, so now what we're gonna do, so what I did was I just used, let's see, I kind of used this angle to help me place my stars. So I put like the little tips of the star, the little and centers of the points, kind of lined it up with the angle here in the paper. And we're just gonna pop these up with some dimensionals. So we're gonna put a few dimensionals on the back here. For the big star, we'll put one on each leg and then one in the center. And then for the little one, we'll just put one in each center of the little ones. And that's perfect. All right. So now we'll do the center one first because we're gonna layer those small ones over the top of the bigger one. All right, so we'll just kind of center that right over the top. And we'll take the smaller star and kind of put this over the top corner here. And then we'll take the smaller star and put it towards the bottom down here. There you go. And that is our bonus card. So here are the two cards we made, just to remind you. This fun pocket card. I love any kind of 3D fun fold card. This is a great fun fold card. Like I said, you could put a gift card or some money in the center and then write your message on the bottom. And then this is a great masculine card for any special celebration for a special man in your life, or boy. All right, guys. Well, I hope you really enjoyed these projects today. Don't forget, if you need any of the supplies from today's project, please purchase them in my online store. My name is Jennifer Roque, and I'm in Summerfield, Florida. If you haven't already checked out my website, learn how you can get a free monthly gift. In June, I'm offering a free embossing folder to anybody that places a $50 or more order before shipping and tax. So you get to choose any embossing folder, any size. All you have to do is place your order and then email me at stampcampwithjen@gmail.com and let me know what embossing folder you want. And then I will ship them out in mid-July to the address you used to place your order. Also, you can earn a free $50 shopping spree through me. You can read all about that on my blog, stampcampwithjen.com. Don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter while you're there if you haven't yet. I send out weekly newsletter updates every Friday morning. And I also send out a monthly free project tutorial for my newsletter subscribers as well. And they're the first ones to learn all about Stampin' Up! News as soon as I get it. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks again for joining me. And until next time, happy stamping. Bye.